This is a $25 mechanical keyboard, and these are all of the upgrades that we're going to make to this $25 mechanical keyboard. So this is the eUso K620 mechanical keyboard, and it is a hot swappable board that I found on Amazon for $25. Ooh, that actually looks really good right out of the box. Let's check out the initial sound. Okay, so it sounds very hollow, it doesn't sound great, but I think there are some things that we're going to be able to do here to make this sound and look a whole lot better. The first step of any exciting build is tearing the keyboard apart. The teardown itself wasn't too exciting, other than to say that while this keyboard claims to be hot swappable, and it is, it's only for a very specific type of switch that is not something that you are likely to have if you are an MX, Gatoron, etc. person. I was hoping to use a set of Holy Pandas for this build, but even after modifying the tips of the switch themselves, they are just too big for this. But adapting in Crisis is what makes things so exciting. So while I hadn't planned on lubing anything for this build, looks like we're cracking open and lubing all of these reds. The darn things need a unique set of tools to crack them open. And guess how many of these I broke opening them up? If your answer was greater than 0, you're probably correct. And I gotta tell you, team, my hands are darn destroyed. Like days later, my hands still hurt from cracking open all these switches. The bare case was also something that needed fixing because a single color, let's face it, that's boring. I like blue a lot, so I decided that this case should also be blue. Now, because the keyboard itself is white, we're gonna have to apply a ton of blue paint to make this look better. Now, originally the plan was to do an all blue keyboard layout, but after we did the unboxing and I started to get a feel for this, I decided to keep it a two-tone build because I think the blue and the white together will look incredible. And this is also my first time spray painting a keyboard, so I got some real side eyes from my wife when we started painting in the backyard. 3 coats of paint later, we have a good enough look to seal the keyboard, and I think it turned out to look really amazing. Doubly amazing because I didn't get too much spray paint all over the yard. There is some on the lawn, but let's not tell my wife about that. The last thing we need to do before reassembling everything is handle the stabilizers. Now, these stabilizers aren't the best, they're not screw-in or anything, but honestly, they're way better than I thought they would be. The wires didn't need any balancing. All I did was I wiped off the existing factory lube, and I just added some dielectric grease, slapped them back on. Seems pretty good. For that hollow sound we noticed in the beginning, I'm trying out something new by placing a sticky sheet of acoustic dampening film. That sounds fancy, but it's really just a gross stretchy material that feels surprisingly dense, and it almost perfectly fits inside of a keyboard case without any modifications. Okay, so we are now back to the studio. It's been like a week of spray painting and lubing and all of this stuff. Now that we've got all the pieces together, let's assemble them and see if this $25 upgrade was actually any good. And I almost forgot to put the cable back on. The keyboard's not gonna work. Plug it into the computer. Like, what good are we doing, Gary? Something like this stuff I think will be fine once it's settled, but it is kind of acoustic dampening film. Also called kinda gross. Good, let's pop. I think this looks incredible, by the way. It's a little more glossy than I would have imagined, and there are some spots where you can definitely tell that I need to work on my spray paint capabilities. That blue and the white really looked fantastic. I'm glad I did not coat the whole thing in blue. Let's start getting them back on. Whew, holy crap, team. I was legit nervous that I had lost one somewhere. You know, you do a jigsaw puzzle missing one piece at the end. I really thought we were going to be missing one switch at the end, so that sounds so much better. Let's actually put on a nice set of keycaps. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And the last keycap. Wow, I think this looks... I am stunned at how good this looks. Team, I don't necessarily consider myself a very creative person, but I am very, very impressed with how this turned out looks-wise. So remember, this is what the keyboard sounded like before we did anything. So let's hear how it sounds now after the upgrades. I cannot believe how much better this sounds after a little bit of elbow grease and staining some grass in the backyard blue. And if you like this video and you want to see me build a $100 keyboard from scratch from Amazon, you can find my video doing that by clicking right here. Click, 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 click. Thanks for watching.